We're going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, to see what is going on. And today we have a powerful Venus alignment with Cetus. The reason why Cetus is so important is because it stores our galactic memory as well as our subconscious memory and patterns, which is really, really important during this time, especially as it is interacting or in such a powerful alignment with the goddess of love and the ruler of our relationships, spiritual connection, and even divine union. So this is bringing a huge karmic clearing or cleansing and even an emotional healing to you right before tomorrow is our full moon. It's our Sagittarius full moon. It's also our strawberry moon, and it's helping us to wrap up the spring. We're getting ready for that summer solstice. It's not going to go there because we're a little bit early. Let's just go ahead and do some cards, starting with the divine feminine, just to see what is going on. That means that everything about your love life is coming up today. You might find this hidden in your dreams, things that are being revealed, downloads, insights, or just really stirring up whatever you're working on or working through. So you can expect that we have a really, really big focus on your love life, especially for twin flames, because it's so important, the work that you're here to do. And I want to talk a little bit about, we'll start with the divine feminine side of things and kind of talk about where the feminine is at in your process, okay? So real quick, make sure you guys are checking out my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. I have so many amazing things up there for the next couple of days. I'm always working very, very hard on my website for you guys. So you can do anything in my shop all of the time, but I am an energy healer. I have a ton of healings, clearings, and activations up there. Great time to be tapping into the energy too, with that full moon energy. So if you guys need me, go ahead and book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. I also do psychic readings. I do twin flame readings, which will help you with navigating what you're having come up, or healing issues, or if you're just needing a shift, or you're wanting clarity and you wanting to tap in. I also do twin flame coaching, which will really help you no matter where you're at in the process. So if you guys are needing me, book me on my site, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. Let's go ahead and start with the reading for the Divine Feminine Collective too. You guys are having a lot come up with this full moon. It's going to really amplify and accelerate everything going on within your ascension, but within your twin flame situation. So it may highlight or shine a light on blocks and obstacles and make them a little more obvious, or feelings and emotions. It just kind of depends. But let's just see what's going on for the Divine Feminine Collective, Divine Masculine. If you're watching, direct messages from your Divine Feminine. My spirit is always with you. Can you feel me? Do you still love me too? Okay. You guys have a shared energy field. It means that only one of you guys, it's not like you're both, like not just one of you is healing, but if you are the one who is really focused on your healing journey, it's going to have an effect on everyone around you, but especially your twin flame and your shared energy field. And it's important that you are getting in a better alignment with yourself on an inner level, and even with this connection on the outer level. So any inner work that you're doing, it's meant to help you. Now we have two individual souls with your own lessons and things coming up to clear for your ascension, because that's where it's at. This is the work twin flames do. You guys have made a soul agreement to come together and to help each other with your ascension and meeting in some type of way with this contract. So there is a soul contract here. Some of the divine feminines aren't going to love this. Your divine masculine is giving you exactly what you need to help you during this time on your healing journey and with your ascension work. It might be stirring up things. This could be hidden traumas, blocks, things you haven't fully sorted or integrated, whatever it is. So there's a lot being stirred up by this connection, but you got to remember it's to help you with your ascension work. For anyone in separation, a lot of you guys aren't, you're actually in union, but some of you guys might be navigating separation. Look at this as preparation for union in some type of way if you are. I didn't realize I loved you until it was too late. I'm sorry. Okay, now this isn't for everyone. Some of you guys are dealing with a lot of karmic energies that are being stirred up from this connection. It could be outside stuff happening, or even just karmic energies coming up. Karma is like, you've been through things in the past. You may carry karmic wounds, blocks, ways that you've just kind of been like, okay, and kind of picked up the pieces. Soul fragmentation coming up in a really, really big way. Why today's energies are really, really powerful to help us with our journey too, because they can really, really help you get back to this time before you went through all of this trauma here on earth, and to really integrate and wake up to your galactic self, integrating that. Some of you guys are facing your own attachments, especially if you're apart from your twin flame. This is where any of the negativity rises up, and you're really going to see these things reflected in your inner thoughts, your energy, or things you're needing to release and let go of. Sometimes separation, I always say, might be needed for you to really pay attention to your own thoughts. We could say spirals, spins, whatever's coming up. And sometimes when if you're having these lower moments, you're releasing energy, or you're needing to let go of stuff. So we have a lot of work that's being done. Some of you guys are letting go of old timelines, old experiences, people that have served their purpose, but mostly we're talking on the energy level too. So this connection itself may have stirred up certain attachments on the energy level. Some people have a lot of attachments to how they think it should go, how it should go, their life as they think it should look. And for some, navigating this spiritual awakening, it's not looking like that. Like this is about the awakening and ascension, but you are meant to be in this twin flame union. For those of you guys on this twin flame path, like I said, some of you guys are too, but there might be some type of karmic energy at play between both of you. Sometimes this is third-party situations, other people. It could be attachments, just whatever it is. There might be something going on here. And I don't want to go too deep into this, because if you guys are needing it, you can come get a personal reading, which will go more into your own situation. But there's something here that is happening on the energy level. Something, you may feel something has been blocking your situation. For some, this might be obvious if you're apart and you're not fully in union. For some in union, you might be having some issues that are coming up in the way during this time. There is a lot of karmic energies that may be surfacing as there's a huge clearing that's happening. Especially as I love to look at the equinoxes and solstices, like it's almost like high school and kicking off a fresh semester. So naturally, the couple of weeks before, that we're in now with this full moon, it might be bringing things to the surface very, very fast so that you can clear anything going back to the past 4 months. So like if you look at your, you look at your first quarter of the year, you look at like this full moon is going to dredge up anything unresolved, but especially from the past 4 months back. If there's stuff kind of that I call it processing on the energy level, stuff might be coming up. Take good care of yourself. Some of you guys are dealing with a lot of family line stuff. And so once again, when we're talking about this, go back to this karmic message. There's some type of karmic energy here. And that's what today's energies are all about, releasing the karmic blocks, narratives, the karmic love stories that were terrible. And for some of you guys already knew that you weren't having the best time in your love life. And it's like your twin flame walked in on chapter 12 of, the story you already had going on. And of course they fit right in there. And so they may have mirrored back karmic distortion patterns, things that needed to be cleared. It depends on that. But some of you guys, this could be connected to your family of origin, your bloodline, that you guys had a lot of addictions. You had a lot of toxic relationship patterns that were passed down, and even behaviors of your own and things that you're really working through within your awakening, within your ascension, specifically within this incarnation too. And it just kind of depends too. And this could go to how you connect with people too. Okay, so we have things not going the way you thought. This could be, and I always want to take this as a positive shift coming. There is a good shift coming for you, okay? And this could be, some of you guys are at different phases of the journey, but some of you guys are getting ready for your reunion that have been in separation for a long time. But I always say it doesn't do any good to get there if you haven't worked through the existing problems. So if you're still in separation, you're being guided to work through any existing problems and to really heal yourself so that you're getting out of some certain cycles. For those of you guys in union, this is like higher unions and really, really stepping into being of service, being in alignment and being on your mission. So there's some type of very positive energy, some type of very positive shift. Maybe this is something you're consciously aware of and you're helping to manifest with spirit, or just something that's going to surprise you in a positive way. Because some of you guys are thinking that you've missed the boat with your twin flame. So we live in a multiverse. That means that there are so many timelines, and so many timelines. Some of them might have been separation timelines, and some of them have been union timelines. And the lower separation didn't go good. Higher union goes good, right? And there's so many different possibilities and probabilities. Some of you guys have gotten stuck in, or experienced, I don't want to say stuck in, some of you guys have experienced it could be one or even several separation timelines as an attempt to heal certain issues that were brought up within these timelines or within yourself or whatever they triggered. It just kind of depends, so that you could collapse in these separation stories and narratives, and you're supposed to shift into union. It just kind of depends. So some of you guys, this is letting go of past lower timelines that weren't very great and shifting into higher timelines, because some of you guys are not happy with how things have gone or how things are going. I always encourage you to, if you need a shift, to check out my website. I have so many good things on there too. So you know this is your twin flame. You know that anything is possible, and it's kind of like some of you guys are trying to get from point A to point B within the union, or you might feel a little stuck or you're not sure, but you're well in the process. So it just kind of depends on where you're at with that. Okay, you are healing your divine feminine energies. Today's energies are amazing for that. When we're dealing with a lot of Venus energy, we're dealing with the divine feminine. So some of you guys might feel like just kind of relaxing, being more receptive, going with the flow, or you know, healing something within your own divine feminine line. It just kind of depends. There's a lot of sacral healing, and there's a lot of uncovering and tapping into your light so that you can shine brighter happening. Some of you guys might have been in the hermit phase. I've been feeling that on Earth, like, and that's okay. Maybe some of you guys, spirit has kind of pulled you back to spend some time alone, and you're going deep within yourself, which is really good for you to get a lot of downloads, wisdom, spiritual awakening energy. This is like enlightenment energy. This is reflecting and really tapping into your inner guidance. It just kind of depends. So some of you guys are like in your little ascension bubble. I call it the womb, which doesn't surprise me because we're dealing with this Sirius energy today. And it's like cosmic whale womb energy, divine feminine kind of energy. Some of you guys are kind of in your healing bubble, as I call it, or really, really going deep within yourself, clearing yourself psychically, you know, and doing this healing work. This is, I love these cards too, that we have these last two cards. I'm just doing a quick reading today. But okay, this Eight of Pentacles is like, your hard work is going to pay off. If you feel like, I don't know, I've been putting a lot of work into this, these are your little seeds. We're dealing with the pentacles, the coins, but these are your seeds that you're planting, and you need to really keep at your manifestations, especially for some of you guys that have some bigger manifestations in the works that haven't played out yet. Really stay focused on your manifestations. You're about to see really, really hard work paying off. And I mean, this is frequency work that you're doing. And you know, sometimes you don't notice as you're going through those highs and lows and navigating these, call them waves of energy, surges of energy, and the things that you're dealing with, processing that are coming up, that you're peeling back many layers and that you're healing stuff on such a deep level. Your frequency is rising, you're changing, you're going through such a transformation. And this is going to bring everything that you desire into focus, like everything. Doesn't matter what it is. So for some of you guys are manifesting reunion and union, stay at it. Keep doing the work, and just know that that point from A to B, it's doing the work that you're being guided through. You're going to see the results, whether this is like a shift in your situation, if your twin flame isn't around, them coming back in. For those of you guys that are actually in physical union, things going a lot better and smoother, like, you know, all of this. Okay, so we have the King of Wands, and this is like very, very high energy, but you're needing to take action and make things happen. And I feel that about anything on planet Earth, okay? You set things into motion, whether doing your work in the, I call it the manifestation realm, and putting things out there, or, you know, setting things into motion. It just kind of depends, okay? Really healing your divine feminine energy though. And this allows your divine masculine to show up more in their masculine energy, which is, I love what trust me, a lot of people do want that, even though they don't know it or not, right? And this helps to heal a lot of relationship problems and things like that too. So maybe healing something from your ancestral line, divine feminine. You have been healing a lot of family problems, okay? And for those of you guys that have, I'm going to go back to this, you might feel like you've been pushed out, okay? Whether it's society, the divine feminine, right? Been pushed out of society, your families, social circles, whatever it is with the matrix. Like, this is a total starseed thing, but you're healing something, and that you're breaking out of a lot of toxic patterns that have been passed down in your family line specifically. Could be families, relationships, whatever it is. You're healing these things now, so they're coming up like never before, but you're kind of noticing some of the problems, especially if there's something you're still carrying within yourself, distortion, things in the way of your love life, whatever it is, major love life, and even, I don't go there much, but financial healing happening as you're healing your energy, you know, you're really healing your sacral. This is also becoming more emotionally balanced, healing your emotions and things like that. So I would say, you know, some of the reasons, obviously, I think we all need to heal if you talk to me, and we all should be consciously working on bettering ourselves. But some of the highlights I see where people might really, really want to, you know, put a little more into their healing, emotional dysregulation, which can really throw off your union when you're not emotionally balanced, because sometimes the DM doesn't know how to deal with that. And things like this. So it could be a lot of extreme emotions and not being able to regulate very well or stay balanced within yourself, and then bringing that in, it causes problems, relationship problems and love life problems, especially repeating karmic patterns and things like that, financial problems or blocks. These are areas that we really, really want to heal during this time. But with this reading, these things are coming up big time for the divine feminine, the divine feminine side of things, and just to help you to heal and get more balanced and things like that too. So a lot of people think, you know, you meet the twin flame and, you know, it's just going to be like, that's it, no more healing, it's amazing. Actually, twin flame tends to highlight the shadow realm more and things that need to be healed. So if you're carrying a lot of, we'll say, negative coding and patterning and you weren't really aware of it, you're going to probably be made aware of it too. So this connection is here to actually break you out of old patterns and relationship patterns that are no longer serving you, to help you into this 5D connection, which is a lot better and things like that too. But it does involve doing some type of inner work too. So there's something going on. Maybe for some, this could be even family wounds that you're aware of, and like, you know, could be having triggering around that. It just kind of depends, but something within the family, it could be inner child. But I would say, as a healer, to help you guys with the healing, just things that you're still carrying, holding on to, or wounding and triggering. It just depends. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a reading for the divine masculine side of things and just see what is going on. Divine masculine. Okay, divine feminine, if you're watching, direct messages from your divine masculine. I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. This person's going through a whole restructuring of themselves, finding themselves and trying to figure things out. They might have thought they had everything figured out until they met the twin flame, and it comes in and shakes up things, especially core beliefs, how you're living life. Okay, so not for everyone, but some people are really going through like this dimensional pull or reshuffling dimensionally, where there's a lot of people that are coming out of the 3D into the 5D as part of spiritual awakening, and it's like a whole questioning of beliefs, reality, the connection. A lot comes up from this twin flame connection. So this person is questioning a lot. They have a lot coming up around their identity, who they think they are or who they thought they were. Okay, this is like ego work. There's like a whole bunch of ego stuff coming up. Okay, you were the love of my life. I didn't figure that out before. I know this is true. I've seen so many of the divine masculines coming around to this. Like they love, even if they haven't told you this, they love you, the divine feminine. They have many lifetimes. They might be just figuring this out. They might know it and just be telling you. It just kind of depends, okay? But there's something toxic still here going on. This could be from former connections, but most likely probably even with the twin flame connection, there might be some type of drama, addictions, or some type of polarizing energy. It just kind of depends. You guys might be very different, having a hard time bringing it together. They might have their own addictions or problems coming up. We've had that on both sides of things. So it's something, you know, both might be having come up and highlighted, and things like that. And this person might be acting one way alone and then kind of putting on a front socially and things like that. They might be acting a little bit selfish or self-absorbed. A lot of the times the divine masculines may, as part of their awakening, go into phases where they're being guided to really work on themselves and their own energy. This happens a lot with the twin flame dynamic, where they might meet and have other lessons, or they karmically, or they might not be ready to come together. And then usually it spins the divine feminine side to heal more. It just kind of depends. So they're still working on themselves and needing to work on some of their own patterns, because we see shadow work coming up big time for this person. They've seen their flaws from this connection. May have been things that were said, maybe not, maybe just the energy of it too. So they're noticing that they had some things they needed to heal. Okay, so there's a new chapter coming up, and they might be trying to move on, but they haven't been able to. They might be coming back to you over and over again, or maybe they're with you already, but there's some type of new energy that's going to come in. This person is very much healing and blossoming from this connection. It's huge. They're tapping into their gifts, and they're really stepping into their power and out of their own victim narratives. They've had them from their past stories that weren't very good, from old connections. We're talking about negative narratives and toxic. We're talking about karmic and toxic relationship patterns today, big time in these energies. So this could be like, you know, they're the victim of their situation. I see that with a lot of masculines, where they're not happy in their situation, but they've failed to really empower themselves to make a change. They're really getting their confidence to make a change if needed, or just a change in themselves to really shift their situation. So they're really, really taking back their power on many different levels and layers. It just kind of depends. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. Once again, this is like my new beginning. Yes, this is a relationship, but this is like manifestation. We are getting into that full moon tomorrow energy. Huge manifestation energy right now as we're wrapping up the spring and ready to go into the next couple of weeks. Will take us into the new season, which opens up new doors and brings a lot of high energy. So we're in a lot of high energy right now. Divine masculine is being guided to focus on your manifestations and manifesting your dreams, because for some, there's not the best communication happening, and everyone's different. This is a general reading. But it just kind of depends. There's some type of childhood wounds that are coming up and blocking the way, some type of inner child issues. And it just kind of depends. Some type of blocks here are just not really being positive about the relationship or where it's going. It just kind of depends. So for this divine masculine, if you're watching, I hope you're watching, shifting out of your own negative thought patterns and seeing things more positively, getting out of any victim programming, 3D programming, and healing your own inner child wounds that may be affecting your relationships or may have in the past, okay? So when we have unhealed wounds, we tend to either attract people out of those unhealed wounds, or we bring them into our connections to be worked out. And I'm just going to say it, no one wants to be working out inner child issues in their relationships, right? And things like that, because, you know, that's not usually the person who hurt you. So when we bring this hurt into connections, it can throw things off or get in the way. So this is like my King of Cups, but it's in reverse. And this is like, some of you guys are feeling kind of anxious and depressed, or you're feeling overloaded, or this connection is challenging you in a way that you've never experienced before. And I know, challenging you to heal and awaken and better yourself and become responsible for some of your patterns and things like that. Because we have this King of Cups, it's beautiful love, you know, symbolism and things like that. But there is a block here. So you're feeling challenged. This could be on the ego level, or just the amount of work that's being thrown at you in your everyday life. You might feel a little stressed, under the weather, you know, feeling the awakening, whatever it is too. There's some type of underlying anxiety or depression here underneath, which is energies, right? So if you are feeling that, you guys know I'll say clear your energy, right? If you're experiencing that from this connection, by the way. So it's connected to this reading with your twin flame, and it could be just the situation, or it's just stirring up old baggage just by the looks of this reading. So for this divine masculine, continuing to work on your solar plexus, continuing to let go of any old stuff, specifically any old baggage, will really, really help you with integrating this connection, or better integrating into your union. All right, I'm going to go on that note anyways. Have a beautiful day. If you guys do need me, you guys can always book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. If you need a reading, coaching session, healings, anything like that, just book it on my website. Have a beautiful rest of your day.